What up everybody, Dr. D here. Today we're going to do another video on the CAGED system. We're going to be looking at the G shape of CAGED. So we'll be doing G major, chord, G major arpeggio, G major scale, G major pentatonic, G blues scale, and talk about how to move that shape around in different ways of playing it up and down the neck. So before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's jump into it. Okay, we're going to look at the G shape here. Originates down here in the open G chord shape, which if you're playing the G chord shape, you have a root there. You have the third of the chord, the fifth of the chord. G string is the root once again. And depending on how you want to play it, you could have an open B string for the third, or you could have the fifth there on D, you know, so you could play G chords like, you know, where you have the pinky on the E string and the third finger on the B string, or you could have the third finger maybe on the E string. But whatever, this is still a G chord, and this is a G chord as well, so whether you want to play the third or the fifth in it. And then after that fifth right there, you have the root. So if you wanted to arpeggiate this, you would go root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth, root. Okay, cool. So in this open position, let's do the open position stuff first. That was the arpeggio, that's the chord. The roots, of course, are going to be on the E string, open G string, and the high E string. So you've got three roots on this chord. Okay, so always know where the roots are, because that's going to be how you like shift this and use this shape in different positions. Let's do the pentatonic next. Pentatonic, once again, root, second, third, fifth, sixth of a scale. So with the pentatonic, this is a nice shape here. You're going to have on the E string, there's your root there, but if we back it down, you have an open E, right? And then you're going to have the root there, open second, open second, open second. And then on the B string, open third, and open third on the E string. So it's a nice shape. You might know it already. You might know it already. Okay, so there's your pentatonic right there. Blues scale in this position, we're going to add once again a minor third. Basically a note in between the second and the major third. So that's going to be root there, open second, note of the scale, minor third, major third, right? So we've got this B flat here. The other blue note is going to be the third fret of the G string. So if you add those two notes in with your major pentatonic, so playing the frets, you have third, open, third, second, open, second, first, open, third, open, for all the notes of the major blues scale. All right, so if you're playing a major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going to have the root down here, of course, 7th to 6th. It's the relative minor there. You know, if you ever want to start learning your relative majors and minors, that's a good way to kind of, you know, get both of those things covered. But that's another video for another time. Continuing the major scale, here's your root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I'm going to play here on the fourth fret of the D string, and then open G for the root again. So once again on the lower octave, third finger, open, second, third, open, second, fourth, open. Okay, last octave, open, second, just two notes there. Next string, open, first, third, open, second, third. So there's your major scale. So let's move this puppy up the neck somewhere and play it in a different position. So let's do it in C, because that seems to be kind of the way this video series is going. Let's stay in the key of C with the transpositions. The G shape, to move it,
this is a very difficult chord to play for some folks because it's really big. But if you want to do it in its true 6-string version, you're going to have your 3rd finger, 2nd finger, and 4th finger. So basically whatever you can do to keep your 1st finger free. And the 1st finger is way back here behind the nut. The root, of course, there's 3 roots, but the main ones that I use to anchor me are going to be on the E string, both E strings actually. C is up here on the 8th fret is C. So if I make my G shape up here, you've got this full-on, you know, hard to play chord. I seldom ever play a G chord, G shape like this up the neck. It's just kind of a lot. But what I do sometimes is I'll use maybe the lowest part of the chord. So basically, I'm going to use the first 4 strings of the chord. So my root there, my 3rd, my 5th, my root. I'm going to play like a 4-note lower version of it. That's the bottom lowest 4 strings of the guitar. If I want to play the middle strings of the guitar, I go my 3rd finger, and I'm going to cover the middle 4 strings with my 3rd, 1st barred. So that's a nice way to play that in that shape. You hear that in like Jimi Hendrix licks and stuff. You know, and then of course you got your pentatonic right there too. Then if you're going to play the bottom stuff, you can do like, you know, the bottom 4 or the bottom 3 or whatever, but you can do 1st finger barring, and then your pinky can be on either just the E string up here on the root, or it can be on the 5th in the root, like that. You got the 5th root and then the 5th in the root. So it's like a upside down double power chord. There's 3 different ways you can play that chord that's other than the really hard to play 6-string version. Okay, so inside of that, the pentatonic is going to be starting on the root down to the 6th. So the 1st string is 1st, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. And if you want to play the blues, you're going to add that minor 3rd in there. All right. If you want to play the major scale, it's going to be the same deal as it was down here, but with 4 fingers. I'm going to start with my root on the pinky, coming down the scale, 3rd finger, 1st finger. So root, 7th, 6th. We've got the next string is going to be 1, 3, 4, and then 1. Now this is the tricky thing. I'm going to use my 2nd finger to play the 7th fret. So there's a whole step move from my 1st finger to my 2nd finger, and then my pinky is catching that note. So there's 3 notes on the D string in this shape. That's kind of the weird thing about it. It's sort of an anomaly, but if it's hard or whatever, it's good to like play this spacing of whole steps, 3 whole steps, or 2 whole steps, 3 notes. I usually do it with my 1st, middle, and pinky, but I guess you could go, I don't know, it's kind of harder for my fingers to stretch apart between the pinky and the ring, but you could do it like that too. There's no right and wrong way to do it as long as you play it well. So once again, we got 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 again. Then we're going to have the spaced out 1, 2, 4, and then we have just 1 and 3. Next string on the B string, 1, 2, 4, and then finally last string, 1, 3, 4.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to like the video and hit subscribe and turn on notifications and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.